Warning: the gameplay in this stream is being performed by amateurs and under the moderation of amateurs. While Carlton is an EA partner and this is an EA-sponsored stream, Carlton and the moderators must insist that no one attempt to recreate or reenact any gameplay performed on this stream. What is up, party people?
Go hard.
How are we doing tonight?
Go hard.
You doing good?
Go home. Go hard. Go home.
Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic field pass. I have been busy. I can only assume it has gone off without a hitch. No issues. Oh, the music is too loud. You're right, Him Reaper. There we go. Sorry. Let's not talk about the game. Erod, we got 4 hours to fill. We're talking about the game. What do we have tonight so far? We've got Bowman's in 12 months. Bowman's hits. Bowman's hits 12 months. Straws in the chat for Bowman's. Dustin is in. Cass, Texas, in with the biddies. M. Childs in 24 months for M. Childs. M. Childs gets himself a fancy new sub badge too. So what do we have? Bowman's, yes. M. Childs, yes. Dustin, yes. 33 months. Dustin sneaking up on 3 years. We've got Cass in with the bits. Air Force in with Prime. Let's hit up our nightly reminder. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get a free sub to anybody on Twitch. Air Force has used his on mine. Cheers to you, mate. I appreciate you. Any questions on how to link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, hit up Games with Dustin. He'll walk you through it. He is our resident expert on that. You can't hear it, but I cranked the music up a little bit. So tonight is Field Pass Thursday, which means we've got Field Passes to give out throughout the night, in addition to the foils that EA continues to so graciously provide us. It is our end of the Field Pass tournament. You can check, assuming we don't overload the bot, you can check whether or not you are qualified by typing !EOS into the stream. So how it's going to work tonight is we will spin, and we'll set it before the beginning. We will spin 5 or 6, probably 6, maybe only 5 spins tonight with the bot. We'll identify the top 4. The top 4 will then join me in a league of my creation, and we will do an all Madden league championship for the top 4. Our 2 semifinalists will get an iconic select pack with a new promo dropping. It's not a bad time for that. Second place, or as some of you might call them, the first loser, will get a foil select pack, and the winner will get their choice of either a previous Marvel seasons 1 through 6 or 2 foils. How do you qualify? That's a fantastic question, Lost Soul. So over the course of a month, we will qualify folks for these tournaments. We will qualify them based off of our nightly arena tournaments. We will qualify them off of marbles and various other giveaways. And so we have been qualifying for this tournament since February started. So we will probably have one final qualifier, just a random giveaway before we get going. We also have the ability to qualify yourself based off of channel points. So once we know that you are not going to qualify based off of any additional qualifiers we have tonight, we will open that up and you can use that. Hype train, level 2 achieved. Bad Axe in with the bits. Thank you, Bad Axe. Straws in the chat. So we will qualify folks through various means over the course of the month. So this is the big one tonight. So we always do early. How many channel points is it? I believe it's 100K. Like, it's not cheap, but I wanted to also sort of reward people that have hung out and participated in it a bunch. Let's see. Tourney time. Yes, 100K. Tourney time. Can you give it to a friend? Ooh. All right. So let's do this. That's a great question, Lita. That's a great question. Tonight, for this field pass, and this field pass only, I will allow you to use your channel points to let somebody into the tournament for you. PL1, purchase limit 1. You haven't done drives yet, you might want to get them in. Air Force. You might want to get them in, Air Force. So tonight, I will let you do that. Play limit 1. I know some of y'all are banking those points in. And you can't like if you have earned a qualifier through like marbles or by your finish, that's non-transferable. But channel points, I think I can let you do that. You got to do your L. Well, so Deuce, the final 4 have to hop in a league with me. So if you leave your league to hop in my league to do it here on stream, your league probably wants you to have those drives done before you leave. I'm guessing. I don't know what your league's policy is on doing drives. But I'm guessing they probably want them done. So you play the 6 games. No. No, so Kev, we will open up the channel point redemption for a very small window before we do the 6, before we kick it off. You can't participate and then decide you want to qualify afterwards. You have to decide early on. Anyone who exploited the glitch should not be eligible for the tourney. Just saying. So do you want to have this conversation? Or are you is everyone like sick of this conversation? Cuz like, look, we've always maintained this was sort of a safe space to respectfully vent, right? I've always felt like I've tried to give that to everybody. There aren't too many off-limit things that we can't talk about. It's not like EA has said, no, you're not allowed to talk about it. Apparently, people are not over it. Horse Money in with the bits. I missed it. Thank you, Horse Money. Straws in the chat. Let's have a good stream. I mean, we can talk about it. Like, I'll tell you where I'm at with it. Like, hey, this would be great content. So, I haven't even done the journey once. I was like saving it for tonight. Whoops. Whoops. Just reset the game to the start of the field pass and allow those who purchase the field pass to keep it. I don't think it's that easy. Because then you've got to like refund like everything, and then like that's a process. That's an accounting nightmare. That's a challenge. So you're stuck with Eckler. I'm not sure that's accurate too. You have him now. I don't think that's going to be the long-term solution. At least according to what Nick said. That's today? That was today, right? How about your time? What do you mean, Jiggles? I mean, that's how you kick off the stream, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I love my coffee, but this is the most important cake up in the house. What is that? Premium coffee drink. So is there still a return of people who aren't qualified? So Alex, how it's going to work is you can still spin with us tonight, and by virtue of your finish tonight, you can qualify for the next month's Field Pass tournament. Field Pass tournament is starting tonight. It's starting tonight. Starbucks has not. It's also a good reminder, Jiggles, because Jiggles didn't know the Field Pass tournament was starting tonight. Exclamation Discord. I just put it in the chat. So we do a thing here where we want to make sure people come and hang out with us when they want to hang out with us, and not because they've got, FOMO of missing out giveaways. So that's the link to the Carlton Discord. If you join that and you go to rules and roles, you can hit the Carlton logo, you can hit the football logo. And what that does is that gives you updates gives you access to our stream notification. Every time we start the stream, you get notified. Every time we have a giveaway that goes live, you get notified. So if you're in the Discord, and if you have the role and you have access to that, you never have to worry about missing out on anything. So in there, in the stream notifications, as well as the official Mad Mobile Discord, we had the updates that we were going live an hour early. We also had the updates that tonight was the Season 6 Field Pass tournament. So, should not be any questions. That said, we are probably not starting it until at least 8:30 Eastern, which means if you have not done your LVL drives and you expect to participate and be in the Final Four tonight, you still have like an hour and a half. Alright? So, is there anything else we want to talk about before we get started? Like, I had scheduled this to start an hour early before, like, all of this stuff went down. So, like, what originally was supposed to be, like, fun, happy Field Pass turned into, like, everybody's mad at each other Field Pass. Lots of live countering. I don't know if I've been played yet in LVL, Go Hogs, but I fully expect to be played over the next 3.5 hours. If I do get played, someone 99p hop into chat and tell me. Hop into chat and tell me. All right. Are we ready to hop into the game? We can do the game. We can talk about all the stuff that's going on while we're in there. You can feel free to ask my position on things, and I will tell you what my position is on things. I will just note that those positions are personal to me and in no way necessarily reflect the opinions or the positions of EA Sports. That notwithstanding, let's do it. So let's get into it. What do you want to do first? Do you want to do combine, or do you want to do the other one first? What combine events are people doing? I'm doing this last one. I'm doing the last one. But I haven't spent anything yet. Hey, did you see a Justin Fields was coming? Variant's done with Season 7? Is that because you reached the end of it? You do the 15 stamina, you pulled the uncommons out of it? I saw that. So like this one here is just a straight 60, right? But I thought about doing these more. Because this one's just basically double the tokens for your stamina. This one is still close to that, but it's got a chance at uncommons in there. And so like if you spent what, let's say 300 here, you would get 600 tokens on this one. If you spent 300 here, that's what, 412 plays? So 90, 270, you're out what, 30 tokens on that one. But you get chances at uncommons. It's not terrible. You like testing your luck? I do not like testing my luck. I do not like testing my luck. I don't do my luck. Give me the bird in the hand versus the 2 in the bush. Oh, I want to point out too. These things are back. I missed it the first day. 24-hour timer. 24-hour timer. See, I'm kind of torn. Because these aren't selects. They cost the same as the select starters, but they're not selects. I don't like anybody from the first drop. I like Justin Fields from the second drop. That notwithstanding, I don't know if I'll be doing anything other than just getting a bunch of random ones. So I think it makes sense for me to just pause and not get these yet. I'd plan on getting them and then just doing a bunch of randoms, but with the Justin Fields coming out, that kind of gave me a little bit of pause. So let's at least get the daily, right? Last promo were selects. That's right. You already logged your overall, but want to make a player. I mean, you have to. You got to spin your best. You got to spin your best team death clock. So that's what you got to do. So if you didn't log your best one, then yeah, I need you to do that. Showstoppers. We're on the wrong one. Combine. Nope. Well, 25, we can do that one. 6 of them, right? All right. I see you. It's something. So, I mean, I got 1 out of 6, right? So that paid out because the 1 costs, what, 100, right? But by doing that, yeah. I think I ended up losing like 40 tokens, but I picked up 1. That's not bad. They're not turned on yet, JJ. They're not turned on yet. Economy is broken. Why spend anything? That's fair. That's fair. I will offer Litany. I will offer that when this came out and this was established, man, we had like so much like good stuff to talk about, like with this number and how it's like way too freaking high. How it's way too freaking high. So the good news is, Litany, if it was way too freaking high, didn't have people playing that over and over and over and over and over again.
Start it up.
Even 5610 is too high. I mean, not sure. I'm not sure. Easy, Trapstar. Not the place. I don't think so. Go Hog. I'm aware, Litany. I'm aware. The end gate of this field pass is a lot less than last. No. I mean, the end gate death clock, the last one, literally is 5,766. So this thing went up, what, 300? Math, 372? 372? Like, that's a lot. All right. So is there anybody out there who is not aware? Let's talk about the defensive end that ran a 4.6, second 40. I mean, I don't know, Boondock. Like, Dwight Freeney allegedly ran the 40 sub 4.4. All right, rush for yards. See, I thought this would be a fun kind of conversation, and then we could have the conversation. Hey, what are you guys doing with your Eckler? Right?
This is lit.
Is he for who? Dwight Freeney? No, Dwight Freeney played at Syracuse. He got drafted in like 2004. He old. How do you register for the tournament? Well, you qualify over the past month. Fix it, Felix. You can also use options. I'm so bad at these. I mean, it works. You can also use channel points. You don't have Eckler. So, I mean, Freeney should have won Atlanta a Super Bowl. Freeney was old by then. Freeney should have won the Colts Super Bowl, but he got hurt against the Jets, and then they lost to the Saints. So I'm really curious to see. Oh, I can't throw to that one. Yeah, I'll throw to that one. I'm really curious to see how all this stuff shakes out. So I would be shocked if where we are at now in terms of being able to use Eckler is where we end up. I'll be honest, I've got CJ2K foiled. I looked at Eckler as someone that I was going to keep to foil. You've got 2 foil Ecklers. Why did you foil 2 of them? Why did you foil 2 of them? That feels like an odd choice to me. Like, I would have foiled at most 1, and then the other 2 you could toss into a Marvel set. In case 1 gets hurt. Stamina trade for the fool. I know it's there. D'Armit. But is that better value than getting tossed in? Than getting tossed into a Marvel trade-in? Do people like these Marvels? Like, y'all got them now. Do people like them? Do they play well? Apparently, you can't trade any of the glitched iconics. Yeah, well, I mean, the iconics aren't glitched. But yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, if there are people that have a substantial number of the Eckler cards, right? Do you want them to be able to continue to build marbles for stamina? Do you want them to be able to continue to trade them in for resources? I don't think you want that to happen. Would rather them not have them. No, I get it. But but they have them. Like, we have to sort of accept that that's where they are. So the first thing, right, is is they shut down what you can do with them, right? So now they're useless, right? Now they're currently useless. And so then, to me, the question becomes, okay, now they're useless. How do we make them useful for the right people? Remove all unleveled Ecklers from the game and open it. No, I don't think you do that. I don't even think you need to do that. I don't even think you need to do that. What am I doing? Tight end receiving yards? I think there's a couple very easy. Do you remember when they used to have this event and they had it at the 6-yard line instead of the 7-yard line? That was awful. I mean, think about it, right? How many Ecklers can people get? Right? How many Ecklers can people get? They can get one there and they can get one here, right? Like, you can't even trade for Eckler. He's not in the random pack, right? You've got Hunt and you've got Koo and you've got Quay or whatever it is. I think it's Koo. And then you've got Micah Hyde, right? And he's not in this thing either, right? So to me, the very first thing that I would do, now that they're all trapped there and stuck, is you just remove anything that's more than 2. Just remove anything that's more than 2. That's easy, right? You should only have 2. Just remove them. First step. Easy. Like, there's no question. There's no, but I spent Madden cash or I spent real money to get all these extra Ecklers. No. Boom. Problem solved. First, right out of the gate. Like, that's easy. Right? They really got the field pass dialed in finally. They do. Look, this notwithstanding. I mean, they do have the field pass dialed in. Like, the field passes are great. They do have it done. That's the first thing that I would do. No one should have more than 2. Done. Boom. You have 2 Ecklers. And then what's the next thing that you do? You look at the foils. If you have more than 1 foil, boom. Get rid of anything over 1. Right? So in theory, at that point, the max you walk away with in terms of Ecklers is 1 foil and 2 iconics. So you walk away with 2 extra iconics that you shouldn't have, right? I'm not going to have them. I don't have any Ecklers right now. So a whole lot of people end up with a whole lot extra, right? 2 extras of the iconics. Okay. The Ecklers aren't the issue. It's the Madden cash and the weight coin stamina you get from it. Agree. 100%, right? Like, we were talking about, who here remembers the coin glitch? Who here remembers the coin glitch? Who here remembers the coin glitch? The coin glitch was whenever you would not just list, but bid on something in the auction house, you got those coins. So if you bid $1 million on something, your coin balance went up by 1 million coins. So that's when we discovered that there was a $2.2 billion limit on coins because, as I described it, people were Y2K'ing. Their coin balance would go up to 2.2 billion, then it would roll over to zero and start all over again. And so they shut everything down. Everybody wasn't maxed at 2.2 billion. They had to go all the way back up again to get there. They shut down all the stuff, all the coin stuff, and just basically did a full reset. I don't think you can do that. But I do think you can track how much people earned. I do think you can track how much people have spent and what they have gotten from that. And so, everyone wants to talk about, oh, what if they bought a bunch of resources, right? Let's say they bought a bunch of resources, right? You look at how much extra resources they earned from that event, and you subtract that from their current resources. And if it takes them to zero, it takes them to zero. Because how much resources they can spend is limited to what? 30 players? So at most, they have trained 30 players. A good amount. Players that eventually, probably here soon, are going to get replaced, right? The people that have all these resources are going to be replacing these players much more quickly. So that's 2, right? That's 2. That's what I would do. You would see how much extra resources they've gotten by trading in all of those Eckler cards, right? That would be weights. That would be trading points. That would be coins. And if that comes all the way down to zero, too bad. Why do all of that when you can just delete their accounts? All right. I am so excited to have this conversation. I am so excited to have this conversation because it is not too often that I get to take my Madden hat and set it off to the side and grab my lawyer hat and put my lawyer hat on. Okay? I'm actually excited about this. So we get to walk through the terms of service. Okay? We get to walk through the terms of service for this game. And I will explain to you exactly why they can or cannot do this. So let me clear this out. Let me pull up the terms of service. And we get to have this conversation. We haven't got to have this conversation in a while. You want to know how often I get to have this conversation? This is saved. It is starred. So here's what I want to talk about. First and foremost, contents and entitlement, right? So what it's saying is it has all of these stuff, EA virtual currency included, right? Now here's where it gets interesting. Okay? This paragraph right here. EA, and again, personal opinion, not official opinion. EA may need to update or reset certain parameters to balance gameplay and usage of EA services. These updates or resets may cause you setbacks within the relevant game world and may affect characters, games, groups, or other entitlements under your control. In other words, in order to balance gameplay, EA can adjust what resources you have, which means they can take your Madden cash, they can take your weights, they can take your coins, they can take your training points. Okay? They can do so under this provision in order to balance gameplay if they believe that you have obtained those in an imbalanced way. Now, I want to be very clear. Cards fit under that. I want to be very clear though, okay? They can do this to balance gameplay. This is not because, in my opinion, someone is, quote, cheating, okay? Because that's the distinction that everyone's trying to bring up. So, down here, under rules of conduct, this lists all of the stuff that you cannot do, right? Violate law, interrupt, disrupt services, disrupt another player's use, harass, threaten, bully, inappropriate, abusive, publish post, distributing anything, post a message for other communication, impersonation, improperly use support, steal passwords, make use of any payment methods or refund systems to access, purchase, or refund EA services for fraudulent purposes. You know, on that one, you know, right? Use software, attempt to use a service through any service not controlled by EA, buy, sell, trade. This is one that gets people in hot water sometimes. And use information about users publicly available in any EA service for any purpose unrelated to the service, including to attempt to identify such users in the real world, okay? These are the things that you get banned for, right? If you violate these rules, fail to remedy this violation after a warning, EA may take action against you, including revoking access to certain or all EA services, content, or entitlement, or terminating your account as described in Section 8. In the case of severe violations, EA may take these actions without issuing a prior warning. And then they list some examples of it. Okay? Ban permanently. Yes, I see that. Okay? But here's what I want to point out. The people that took advantage of this glitch did not violate, in my opinion, anything in Section 6, Rules of Conduct, because those things were readily available in the game, accessible to them directly through the game in the normal course of playing the game. So if your expectation is anyone that took advantage of this should be banned, I am telling you right now, my opinion, there's no actual legal basis to ban people from their account. Okay? So if that's what you're hoping for, I think you need to realign your sights. Okay? I just don't think that's a very reasonable outcome for you to expect. Okay? But what I will say is EA can change anything around to balance gameplay. So, any corrective or balancing act that comes out, to me, happens under this. And so, you're able to go through and you're able to claw back Madden cash, you're able to claw back players, and you're able to claw back weights and coins and trading points based off of all that stuff under this one. But if you're expecting actions to be taken directly against account and account owners, I don't think it's going to happen. So we can have the conversation about what we want to see happen and what we think would feel good to see happen. But this is kind of the reality, folks. This is kind of the reality, right? The best case scenario that we all can hope for is either a full clawback, and again, let's look at what's out there, right? You can claw back Ecklers. You can claw back, in theory, anything built with the Ecklers, right? If there were marbles that were built entirely with Ecklers, you can claw those back as well, right? If those were used for stamina before that got locked out, then it's what, 2,000 stamina? We've talked about that. You can barely spend one marble worth of stamina. Like, that cashes you out for the entire day on the hard level. That, like, clears everything out. So at most, they could spend, what, one marvel if they traded in for stamina? So that's not extensive. You could claw back any weights all the way down to 0. If they did spend the weights to train players, they could only train 30 players. More than likely, most of those players were already trained to at least, what, level 5? So you end up only, albeit the expensive levels, you end up having 30 players trained 5 levels, which ends up being, what, roughly 10 overall apiece? That will eventually slowly get burnt out, or quickly get burnt out either. Yes, you can play twice. You can play twice. What about the Minka people got too? I think that was taken care of fairly quickly, Sawyer. Use or distribute unauthorized software program tools. They didn't do that. That's not in there, Dr. Panther. They accessed the game through the software in their Play Store. And then from there, they went directly in and did it. They didn't use or distribute unauthorized software programs to hack it or do anything else. It was put into the game. There's just no basis, in my opinion, to delete it. It was a bug. Yes. I don't... Nick said no on his stream, Bad Axe. Nick said no. I mean, I tend to defer to him. The third from last paragraph, is that in 6? I love having this conversation. Engage in any other activity that significantly disturbs the peaceful? Nope. Fair, and again, EA put this in the game. I don't think you can say fair or respectful gaming of an EA service. It's in the game. Everybody had access to it. Everybody, in theory, had the option and ability to do it. This doesn't hit either. Everybody had an equal opportunity for this. It's a balancing issue. Bird law and various other lawyerings. It's the closest one, but it's not there, right? What does Henry say? Is it unreasonable to simply want to rebalance the game? You don't want people banned. You don't want to feel like you wasted so much time and effort for a glitch to break this game. No, that is perfectly reasonable, right? And like, we've got a list of stuff that we're going to spend on, right? Tonight. We got a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to spend on. I'm the same way. Right? I'm the same way. Like, And I'll also, here, let's, I want to go talk about this too, right? I want to talk about this too, right? So the last day of the field pass, I hit it, okay? In order to get there, I had to go up to 12% boosts, which I'd never had to do before. It was 11 last month. It was 10% the month before. I had to spend significantly more Madden cash to get there. About 20 to 30K more Madden cash than I had to get there. And I had to do a lot to move stuff around. So to me, the question is, I was already feeling rough, right? Because like this, from this past month, went up significantly for me. And it was harder to hit the 10K. So I'm with you, Henry. I feel like last month the return on the spend was significantly less. What's the matter, Grape? What won't I do? Terms of service mean little if no one sues EA. So you can't sue EA. Have to file for, I think it's binding arbitration. You have to file for binding arbitration, which I think is probably going to be kept confidential. So that's you can't really sue EA anyway. So when glitches happen, go ham. I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm not suggesting that at all. But here's what I'm suggesting. And this is sort of the wrap up on it. 1, adjust your expectation for what's going to happen to people who took advantage of it. There's not going to be bans. There's not legal authority to be banned. And even if there was rough legal authority, that legal authority is going to carry with it risk and potential liability and exposure, which a large company may not be willing to just simply roll the dice on. So limit, in terms of what's happening to the people that took advantage, limit your expectations to clawbacks of everything. 2, I think it's kind of premature for people to be upset about a lack of response. We are 24 hours now into this thing? This is a big thing. Hey, Caballo, guess one out. Who got it? BJF50. Straw's in the chat, Caballo. I would encourage people to see what the response is going to be. And then if you're unhappy with the response, vent away. Vent away. We will be here. We will be here for you to vent. And so long as it's done in a respectful manner, we will always be here for you to vent. What's up, Thor? We've got to finish this thing up. We've got to get some field pass stuff. Like, I don't normally get to play the game much. I'm too nice. How am I too nice? By telling people... see, I don't even want to tell them to have patience, because that's pushing. Like, I don't want to tell people to have patience. Like, I get it, right? Like, you go and... you build this stuff and you want to use it, and like you want to put like the Eckler card in the Marvels, and you can't now because stuff is broken. Like, I get that. I totally get that. Like, that stinks, right? But at the same time, it's not worth to me just sort of jumping all over this. And as a personal imposition to you. Like, it's an inconvenience, right? And so I would say let's wait until we find out whether or not there will be any, recompense for that before we get upset about being inconvenienced. Did something happen? No, nothing happened at all. Legit question, why could they not just immediately shut down the journey? Usually their bug response... Don't know, Bleed Blue. Don't know. I can't really speak to that. LVL is unbalanced at the moment, like by a lot. I mean, it's always going to be unbalanced. Like, it's just the way it works. It's always going to be imbalanced. Because what's going to happen is the top players and the top overalls, and especially those with both, are going to just slowly sort of accumulate at the top. Like, it's always going to be imbalanced. Like LVL is always going to be imbalanced. Because, there we go. That's just naturally what happens, right? It's no different in retail, right? All of the big stores swallow up all the smaller stores, and eventually you just get left with Walmarts and Targets. When a lower league could beat a higher league with scale. I mean, I think it's there. Rundum, it's a lot better than it was last season at least, right? But I mean, a league with skill and a league with a high overall probably should win everything. You got 2 Ecklers, and I think that's the big takeaway to me. Oh no, he fumbled. Oh, I got the yardage on that one. Okay. They used to not give you the yardage on that one. Was my Walmart and Target comment in reference to networks? No. It was more just in reference of, like, you look at sort of the top leagues from the past, 2 or 3 seasons especially, like the MBKs, the USAs. Like, what ends up happening is they will attract and get lots of not just high overall players, but they'll also get lots of really talented players, right? And so people that have both a high overall and are really talented are just going to sort of eventually, on average, flock their way to those leagues. Like, it's going to historically be imbalanced, right? Like, 99p is great. We've got a lot of people that are in there that are great people, that are great players, and they hang out with us because they're happy to hang out with us, and it's a great squad. But at the same time, there's always going to be people to sort of replace those top leagues. Thoughts on giving everyone 2 random silver cards that can be used in the Marvel set? What do you mean, Kev? What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand. What am I supposed to do? Win in overtime? Is that what this one is? We haven't even touched Combine yet. That's okay. Well, that's not true. We bought it. I understand JJ wanting immediate action. Hey. Give everyone a Marvel pack. That would help balance. Like I said, I think the bottom line is you can be unhappy at the delay. I would just ask folks to just, until we're told nothing else is coming in, just wait until something comes in and we see what that is, and then we'll go from there. with Jamar Chase, you can't make DK. Is Chase any good? Because I'll be honest, like the Dion cards always play. That's a tough challenge. The Dion cards always play really. I shouldn't say really. They always seem to play rough because he doesn't tackle well, and he has all this great speed, but speed ends up actually being a bit of a detriment. And like the Jamar Chase card, or the Chase card, like isn't. I feel like it sort of has those same shortcomings from a wide receiver standpoint. Like it's short, it doesn't. It's all speed. Man, some of those aren't lighting up. It's all speed. Like, does the card play well? I mean, I think TK, that's probably not a comparable. Going for Fields. Fields card is interesting. Chase is like 6 feet short. Oh, we haven't even gotten to talk about that, Jiggles. We haven't even gotten to talk about that. Do you want to know what really sort of chaps my you-know-what on this whole process? Do you want to know what really sort of chaps my you-know-what on this whole process? This is what bothers me about this field pass more than anything. This is what bothers me about this field pass more than friggin' anything. Look at how what just happened. Oh, come on. The new cable. Look at how friggin' expensive Gronk was. This isn't good. Look at how expensive Gronk is. Right? All this for a 189. And looky what we have here. Base Iconics. 1 friggin' 87. I'm gonna have to adjust this cable. 187. I'll be honest. I've got a Gronk. I've got an LT. And I've got buyer's remorse. At least on the LT. Because look at where these cards are coming in at. 187 on this one, right? Combine's less. But look at where these are coming in at. On the foils. 2 Iconics gets you a 187, whereas 7 got you a 189. I know it's a foil. I know it's a foil. But it's still 2 Iconics worth, as opposed to the marbles that were 7 Iconics worth. That's what got me. That's what upset me more about anything. And like I said, I walked out of the last field pass at the end just by the last overall hit the 10K. And I walked out of there with 2 marbles that I thought were going to last for a while. Not sure that's the case at this point. And a few other players, but not a lot of other players, right? I mean, let's just take a look-see. What'd I get? I got DK, and I have to hide him at wide receiver too because he's too fast. I got a Polamalu. Got no Karake. I got Bosa from the Super Bowl. And I got Reddick. And then I picked up LT. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then DK makes 5. And 2 marbles. And then some of the field pass guys. That's what bothers me. Need someone that was like Megatron. I had Megatron. That's who, what's his name replaced? I had Megatron. I was very upset. Very upset by the way that planned out. It is 8:10 already. Oof. Go. Not bad. But no, that bothers me more than anything. That I spend 7 iconics for a card that the next day, literally the next day, is worth 2 iconics. That bothers me substantially. And I was already feeling rough because I had to up the spend to hit something substantially and burn a bunch of resources that I didn't have to do before. In the game moth. Yeah. And I suppose to some extent, right? You had the Vic that dropped, and then they had the Fitzpatrick that dropped right after that was so much better. Where are we on these trades? I need to burn out some of those. All right. Everything here. What do I have? There's 100 stamina. That's it. All right. We'll just claim all, right? What do I get? Coins. Madden cash. Weights. That. Okay. Does anybody else read this? How do you read this abbreviation for showstoppers? Because I read that as schist. Right? I read that as schist. Scheist. Yeah, I read this as a schist pack. Schist pack. And the schist definitely hit the fan on this one early on. Both of those. I hadn't even opened up yesterday's daily yet. Hey, who is the one that doesn't go into the trades? Is it this Titans guy? Nope, Titans guy goes in. Defensive end. Is it Brian Burns? Okay. You got a hide foil because you bought one of the milestones. Wasted all that Madden. Okay, well, if you just... Oh, you bought out the milestones. Oh, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. I mean, I get being in a hurry, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure I agree with that. I normally just wait and get there, hit all my dailies, and just move on. What do we have here? Got a bunch of those. Gotta make sure I don't toss combine cards in there. Playoffs. Probably do a few of those. You want to do these? You always hate accumulating points for something that isn't relevant. I mean, and that's just kind of it. Like, you're just tossing it all back. Like, you have like an entire month of stuff that you can earn, and you end up spending like the whole month, like, not earning anything. Like, that's why I've never been a fan of that approach, honestly. You just end up spending the whole month not earning things. I'm not getting what he meant. What do you mean? Wait 7 to 10 days and buy through at the very least, yeah, because you can hit the first ones. Like the marginal steps between the first ones are much less. I haven't even used any of these tokens yet. Pop these in here and protect them from getting traded in. Put these in this set. We don't have to worry about it. Have I talked Fields? I haven't talked Fields. So Nick released on stream today. It's what? CeeDee Lamb. Justin Fields is coming, I think, tomorrow. We kind of talked about that, Beach, because I was looking at buying the starters, and I was like, I'll hold off. Get him tomorrow. Maybe pull some random Fields. Can I get you that showstopper cornerback? I can if you win. Roquan was the other one. That's right. Roquan was the other one. Which, I mean, the card didn't look bad, but I mean, most of us have foiled Sayao. I picked up an Okereke. Like, that's the issue. You just can't really fit him in. It's a luxury card at this point. Moving off Lamar. Honestly, Gambler. Honestly. Probably. Yes, I am. But I think what I'm going to do is wait until, like Nick does, whatever the reveal is going to be for like the next promo, and see if there's anything in there that's better. And if not, then I'll go with Fields. And if so, then I'll go with anything that's better. So I'm not in a rush to move from Lamar. I mean, he's foiled, he's level 10. You can check a box. For what? Another 5 days? 6 days? 7 days? I mean, so NJ Dub says, quote, I'm sure Team of the Year is going to have a better quarterback. It may have a higher overall quarterback, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a quarterback that plays better for me. Right? Like, if the quarterback ends up being like some statue in the pocket, I'm not sure that's better for me, even if it's a higher overall. Nick said if you're waiting for a more mobile quarterback, you probably shouldn't be. And I think that's right. It's just, for me, going to come down to just waiting and see what drops. You like Fields and dropping Lamar. I think that's the smart play. I probably will end up doing the same. Well, see, but that's different, Jiggles. Like, you've got Mahomes MVP. I've got a player from Ultimate Freeze. The step up for you is going to be much smaller than the step up for me. The Fields card from, was it last season? Season 1 Field Pass from last season. That was a really good card. Crane says, quote, I think there would be a Team of the Year quarterback. I mean, it's Team of the Year. Like, historically, that's meant you get at least one from every position, right? I would assume that's what they're doing again. That's what they've always done. Like, that's what the whole thing is supposed to be. Used S1 Fields until Team of the Year. It was a great card. Beach says, quote, Nick kind of hinted at quarterbacks. And Beach put a uppercase S on that one. Don't know. Hopefully we get some more information for Team of the Year before Combine ends. Do we want to rip a bunch of packs? What time is it? You know what? Yes. Yes, I do. I want to rip a bunch of packs. So that is what we are going to do. If there's something in here I shouldn't trade in, tell me. I'm sorry, I'm an old man. I have to move my face closer to the phone to see it. That looks clean. Look at all those S6 rares. All right, let's do it. Most recent promo should. Every once in a while, they get screwed up and they end up in the front, though. I kind of wish there was a bulk one on this one, but after the first day, there's really no need for the bulk one. Yeah, we started an hour earlier, just because there was so much stuff to do. That notwithstanding, since we had established to start an hour earlier, one, Nick revealed that there's going to be a field card for Combine. So that adjusted those plans. And then, you know, this field pass launched. And so all of the fun stuff that we had planned kind of went by the wayside. No, Star, we'll probably start it here soon. We'll give something away here, and then we'll get started with the tourney. What do y'all think about Philip Rivers? What do you mean? Like 8:30-ish Star? I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are getting them icy. Notwithstanding. Toss that. Oh, we're out. Oh, we got a bunch of rares to go through too. Oh, baby. Okay, maybe not that many. Do I want to give up my Tuckers? Not believe I do. See, look at all these. Wait, is that Combine? Is that a Combine player? I don't want to put him in there. Goodness. You don't think so, Bad Axe? I think there will be. I think it will be a challenge. I thought we had those protected. Let's nope, just toss him there. I must have built one already. Alright, what do I have? Not as many as last time. What, 19? Those. Alright, come on, purple. Nothing. The base quarterback just surpassed level 10 Black Friday Mahomes. Yeah, and I'm not sure what mine is. I'm at 194. I can't put him over here. Yeah, it stays on there. But it's what, plus probably 20, so 174. What would that be, 160? It was a 12. 150s? You won the epic for finishing the hard tier. Oh, gotcha. That's right. I was trying to remember where it came from. I didn't think I had completed it yet. Oh, that's Combine shows. So Hyde's a really good card. The kicker, I'm not super. I need the guard. Like, that's the other issue here too, is that I actually need all of these players. I almost need them more than I need the wide receiver and more than I need the cornerback. So that's what's making this a bit awkward. Marvin Harrison card. You know what? It's funny. They had a Marvin Harrison card for Ultimate Freeze. What was it, like 3 years ago? And I sold it on the auction house for a bunch of coins. Because I don't need the Marvin Harrison card. Oh shoot, I forgot to look. Which one do I need? This guy, right? Punt returner. It just doesn't play the way I need it to play. So I wouldn't roster a Harrison card. I wouldn't roster a Harrison card. So let's do this and just see what we get. That's my third Austin Eckler today. And I'm still behind a lot of you. What do we want to do? Let's just toss him in the high 8 set. You random pulled 2 Richard Shermans debating foiling and skipping Sandcastle. I don't think that's a bad idea. The Sherman cards, Typo King, the Sherman cards play really well. Especially with that Hall of Fame juice they get on them. They play really well. .168, but only 187 speed. And honestly, they probably like overdid it with 187. 202. Sherman cards play really well. Sherman's base at level 7 is 200. I mean, that's what? Almost 220 after? Yeah, someone put this in context for me. Someone put this in context, and I forget where it was. Maybe it was in League Chat. Maybe it was in, like, my Discord. Someone put this in context for me, and I thought it summed it up perfectly. This, at 189, cost 7 Iconics. This costs 2 Iconics and 1 level of training. Just 1. Just 1 level of training. Maybe it was JJ. Just foiled Dupree's, not that far off. See, there you go. That's why you have 0 marvels. I've gotten every marvel this entire season, like Madden season 9. I don't know. Maybe I get the Sandcastle and that's it for the overall jump. Because the Sandcastle also has 4 spots. Made you feel good about getting it? Yeah. I got a bit of remorse on that one. Not a great one for me. Good to know. Especially if you get the Marvel at the end of the month. That's exactly right, Gary. As we said earlier. Like literally, like you finish it out and get the Marvel before the field pass ends, and then the next day they drop one that's literally 1 training level away from that Marvel. 3.5x less the cost. That's a lot of Madden Cash, Carlton. Did you enjoy Journey? So Zach Wilson, funny. Funny Zach Wilson. We did it earlier. Literally my first time through, I was saving it. So if you watch the stream, it doesn't look like you have. If you watch the stream here about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think it was a week ago, when we were closing stuff out, we took that down from about 100K Madden Cash down to like 60, maybe it was like 90s, down to like 65. So I'm just slowly on the way back up. So I can appreciate what you're insinuating, But I think it's pretty clear on its face that that's not what happened. What's the reason EA calling Dion Sandcastle? So there was a commercial here. Was it a couple years ago? About Dion wanting to get back into it. And so he sort of put up this fake persona for the draft. That's Leon Sandcastle. The upside is for everybody, if you still have a Dion on your roster, apparently you can do both a Dion and a Leon at the same time. So at least it helps people roster 2 Dion cards, essentially, right? So there you go. That's why. Plus, it's a gimmick, right? It's a gimmick. They're pumping the draft. They're just pumping the draft. It is what it is. What time is it? Speaking of is what it is. It's 8:30. All right. You want to give stuff away? Let's give stuff away. 6-foot quarterback stinks. Get that. Library marbles. Let's do it. You still have Ray Lewis at L5? I just got rid of him, Taggle Must. I just got rid of my Ray. Like literally, what, a week ago? When Okereke came out, and I pulled him out of the random set. I just got rid of him. But I haven't traded in, like, so Minka's off my roster. Ray is off my roster. But I haven't traded in either one of them yet. Your CBs are 6-3 minute. I think that's right. Lucas Oil Stamp does a great job with the Combine every year. Good for them. Had that dog in him. No, I know I can boom, but we've talked. So here's kind of my issue with that. And we talked about this before it happened because I wasn't super happy about it. But when you add up this end event, you've got 30 plays at 30 stamina, right? You got 30 plays at 30 stamina, so 900 stamina. You get 720 over the course of the day. If you buy the daily pack, you get another 150, which puts you up to 870. And then with the stamina add, it puts you at 920. So if you get the daily pack, you actually end up not being able to spend all of your stamina over the course of the day just on this event. Now, you do have all these additional events that help, right? But you end up here, you've got, 25 at 15. This one is, 30 here. You can't spend a lot of them, and you end up having to come down here on these that pay out a little bit worse. And I'm guessing the odds on the pulls get significantly less too. And so I'm big on getting full value on it. And so I think I'm just gonna sit on them. Like, I've got a bunch of foils too. I haven't traded those in yet either. Air Force has wait for a promo that gives you the event for odds and epic and iconic. I don't know if I agree with that, but at least wait for one that you can feel like you can get full value for your expenditure. I'm not sure you get that here. Or maybe you do, but I'm not sure. All right. What do we have? We've got some foil. We've got some field passes. Let's give away a foil. Again, reminder, !Discord. Pop in there. Go to Rules and Rolls. Hit the Carlton logo. Hit the football logo to make sure you get notifications whenever we go live. Let's give something away.